Hi and welcome to Drummer's Review. I'm Nolly and today we're going to be taking a look at a trio of Zebra Black Plane Series snare drums. Zebra drums are a one-man custom shop based in Holland, specialising exclusively in stave shell drums. These Black Plane Series snares are the latest introduction to the range, being made from London plain wood with 9mm thick stave shells. We have all three of the sizes that Zebra offers here today. There's a 13x7, a 14x5.5 and a 14x7. They all feature a raised walnut inlay, 2.3mm triple flanged hoops, trick strainers and canopus wires. The prices have been given in euros this time, with the 13 costing 939, the 14x5.5 costing 959 and the 14x7 coming in at 979. We've looked at a free floating Zebra kit in the past and we were really impressed with the build quality and the sound offered by the London plane tree shells. We'd not come across London plain wood before, nor have we seen them since, so we were keen to get stuck in and see what these snare drums can do. Right away we thought these are very handsome drums. The satin black oil finish shows off the lace-like pattern of the London plain wood beautifully, and the red stained walnut inlay makes for a beautiful contrast. Likewise, the black chrome hoops and lugs match very nicely, offering a dark aesthetic, but without making them look overtly like they're aimed at rockers and metalers. I'm personally not too sold on the busyness of the logo plate, and perhaps the zebra print wire straps too. I mean, I get that it's the name of the brand, but it somehow feels a little out of place next to the classiness and cleanliness of the rest of the look. I mean, it's a bit like hanging some fuzzy dice in a Rolls Royce, but anyway, they're easily replaced if you want to. The drums feature Remo coated ambassadors over hazy ambassadors, and the Canopus 20-strand vintage wires are thinner than usual, aiming to recreate the wires that Slingerland produced in the 1960s. Tuning up, I was already very impressed because the heads instantly came up to perfectly even pitch all around on all three drums, demonstrating perfect shell roundness and bearing edge execution. The actual tuning action is also incredibly smooth, perhaps in part due to those zebra thread locks, which also ensured the drums stayed nicely in tune throughout the review. All three of these snares have a truly superlative sound. There's a lovely woody impact combined with a beautiful wire response that stays articulate and controlled, even with the wires loosened off so the drums can breathe fully. While stave shell drums are typically thought of as loud and aggressive, these feel very balanced and easy on the ear across the frequency range. The overtones are also very non-invasive across all the tuning ranges, even with an unmuffled single-ply batter, which makes them very satisfying drums to hit. The 13 and the 14x7 feel extremely close to one another, with the 13 predictably being a little more fundamentally focused with less overtone ring, given that it's a little lower in its range than the 14 when tuned to the same pitch. But equalizing the tension on both drums, you hear an almost identical character, so any preference here is mainly going to come down to the tuning range that you like to use. The 14x5.5 has a higher mid-range resonance and more mid-range push compared to the other two. It's also significantly drier, with more of the snare wire sound coming through both from the player's perspective and through the microphone. Now, I don't like to draw conclusions about the sound of a particular timbre without having had a direct comparison to other drums with the same construction but different woods, since there's just so many factors that create the final sound of a drum. That said, Zebra say that London plain wood gives a warm, full body and a great attack. I can definitely agree that's very much how these drums sound. The construction here is absolutely flawless, with amazingly smooth finish inside and out. The bearing edges, which have quite a large rounded outside and a 45-degree inside cut and a wide snare bed, are super smooth and they make great contact with the heads all around. The shell hardware is all ideal too, with the trick throw-off being a particular favourite of ours for its effortless operation of both the lever and the tension adjuster. We feel like these drums would be suitable mostly for contemporary styles that require a clean and articulate snare tone. They're not quite cutting enough to be ideal for extremely heavy music, but for everything below that they're so well rounded that they'd work in most contexts equally well live or in the studio. If we had to pick a favourite though, it would be the 14x7. It's got a depth of tone that makes it really rewarding to play. It doesn't feel like it leaves you exposed at all. That said, all the three drums are so consistent that it really does come down to personal preference. They're all great in their own way. Unfortunately here, as with other stave shell drums, the price tag is quite high, though justified, given the complexity and time-consuming nature of the build process. Accordingly, they're going to mainly appeal to collectors or professional drummers who are after a special drum that they can get a lot of use out of. We think that the flexibility, build perfection, and quality of sound on offer would be an absolute dream for the right player. But what do you think? We'd love to hear from you, so definitely leave us a comment below. Click on the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notifications of our future videos, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Drummers Review.